Welcome back to my hardcore forever world, where last episode I built this amazing starter base complete with storage, farms, and even animals. But we have a problem. If you haven't noticed, I'm still using iron gear, so in this episode I want to fix that. Today I'll be making a dedicated enchanting building with all the storage I'll need for enchanted books and items. It will also have easy access to the two major components of enchanting, leather and XP. So enough talking, let's get started. Actually, before we get started, there are a couple things I would like to address. The first being the spare room up here. So last episode, if you don't remember, I asked you guys your opinions on what I should do with this room. And to be honest, most of you said enchanting room, which I totally understand. However, I did want to make a separate building for enchanting just to kind of have a dedicated space. So instead, I'm going to go with the suggestion by this person saying I should make it a treasure room, which was something I was kind of originally thinking to begin with. So I'm glad someone said it. So I'm just going to come in here with a bit of this polished tuff here and put on a, I guess, piece of treasure we have. From the first episode, I did actually keep the wooden pickaxe we made. This was the very first pickaxe of the world. So I'm going to put that on here and just put in the first pickaxe of the world. So there we go. Now we have a nice artifact for this little treasure room. And just a side note, I did install another mod that allows you to have invisible item frames. So now it just looks like it's nicely resting on there. But in the future, we'll add more to this room, you know, like the first set of iron armor, probably the dragon egg, just things like that that are kind of like monumental moments in the world. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, I think it's time we go mining. I only have 2 diamonds to my name and very little coal and other resources. And if I want to make a dedicated enchanting room and upgrade my gear, I'm going to need a few more diamonds. So I'm going to go down to the mine and see how many diamonds I can find. Since the last episode, I have done some off-camera mining. You know, the classic joke. I know I did not collect 9 stacks of diamond blocks since last episode. I just made this staircase that goes all the way down to diamond level. So from here, I'm probably just going to do some strip mining until I find a cave, because if you didn't know, strip mining diamonds isn't really the most efficient way to find them anymore. All the diamonds that you'll find strip mining that are kind of enclosed behind blocks usually are like a 1 ore vein, and the ones that you'll find in caves that are exposed to air actually have more ores. So they definitely made cave exploring a bit more efficient than just strip mining. So hopefully we find a cave pretty soon. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, it's not a cave, but I will take some diamonds. Oh, and it's more than 1. An 8 vein. This is perfect. Wow. Okay. I know I just said strip mining is not that efficient. I was not expecting to find an 8 vein of diamonds just by strip mining. That's pretty crazy. Oh, I guess it was more than 8. No way. This is actually crazy. What is going on? 12 diamonds. Just like that. Okay, well, I was going to say I'm going to keep going and see if I can find a cave or anything, but I think 12 diamonds is enough to get us started here. I really just need to make the enchanting table and a pickaxe to hopefully get fortune, which will then obviously make getting diamonds a little easier. So we'll just head back up and get that sorted. To start off, I think I'm going to make a temporary enchanting setup. However, we're kind of low on a few things. We only have 5 leather. We need 45 in total just to get 30 level enchants. So we're going to need a lot more leather, and we'll also need quite a bit more sugarcane. So I'm going to go ahead and plant some sugarcane, breed up the cows. And once that's done, I'll probably just go around the area and try to find some other animals, some cows or horses nearby that I can kill to get some more leather. Which, lucky for us, I remember seeing a lot of cows and horses nearby. So hopefully we can get enough leather pretty quick here. I guess there's also the added bonus of getting a bunch of beef, because food is also kind of an issue for us at the moment. Whoa. Oh my. Ooh, some diamonds down there. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I didn't mean to throw my axe. Anyways, I was about to say, I just found this massive cave pretty close to the base. I don't think you can see it. It should be right around that corner there, but this cave is massive. I think this is literally the biggest cave I've ever seen since the update came out. This thing is huge. Super dangerous to explore. So we'll see if I end up going down here later, but that is just a massive cave. That is insane. Anyways, back to the animal killing. Alright, so I just got back from our little expedition there, and we ended up with 35 leather and 49 beef, which I will take, definitely. We'll take that. 35 leather is pretty much almost there, so I think a bit more breeding of these cows, we should be good. Now, I do expect us to be using more leather in the future, so I'm just going to quickly make a little sort of leather farm, cow farm, I'm not sure what you want to call it, which will just make getting leather, you know, now or even later on just a little bit easier. So I'm hoping we have all the materials for that. I did realize though that I will actually probably need better tools to make that, because I'm sick of chopping trees down with a iron axe. So I'm just gonna go kill a few of these cows. We got enough leather, and that actually wasn't that many cows to kill. So thankfully, we didn't have to kill our entire pen full of cows to get enough leather there. So now it's just a matter of getting enough paper to make the bookshelves, which honestly is going to be a very boring process. Won't make you guys watch that, but I'll probably just, you know, stick around the sugarcane. I might go searching for a bit more sugarcane as well, just seeing if there's some in the area that we can grab. After that, we'll finally get to enchanting. Alright, well, I've got all the paper I need now to make the books. I actually ended up just finding all this sugarcane in the nearby area, and it only took me like 10, maybe 15 minutes of searching, which was a lot faster than I was expecting. Usually when I go look for sugarcane, I find like 3 pieces in an hour. You know, it's just something that's always hard to find when you need it. But this time we got pretty lucky. I am now realizing though that I have no wood. I was really hoping I could get the enchanting setup done, but I don't have enough wood to make the bookshelves. But thankfully we already have this big spruce tree here, so we have a lot of wood ready to go already. Alright, so now we can go craft up our bookshelves. And I think for now we'll use the spare room here as a temporary enchanting setup. If we just put them in this sort of shape here, that should give us level 30 enchants. Obviously we are missing the actual enchanting table, so let's get that now. If we just take our diamonds here, we can make the first official diamond pickaxe of the world. A very monumental moment. And man, that is a nice upgrade from iron, let me tell you. Now we have to go find ourselves some obsidian, and lucky for us, I think there should be a lava pool right over there. So if we take this water bucket, we can just go and get some easy obsidian there. Problem is now I just have to find the thing, which I know it's somewhere over here. I don't know exactly where. So hopefully I don't spend an hour trying to find this thing. Oh, is that it there? There we go. Okay. I found the lava pool. Alright, so if we just place our water in here, we can go and gather up some obsidian. Wow, this is so slow. Okay, there we go. 4 pieces. I'm not going to grab enough for a nether portal now, just because I don't want to sit there for another 5 minutes mining obsidian when it is so slow. But I'll definitely come back when I have some enchantments on my pickaxe, so it'll just make it a little faster. Alright, so now we can take the obsidian and combine it with a book and 2 diamonds, and we get the enchantment table. Or I guess technically enchanting table, according to the game. Now we can place this down, and perfect. We should get level 30 enchants. As always, we'll see what we get on the pickaxe, and hopefully it's fortune 3. Unbreaking 3. I mean, not bad. Could be better. But either way, honestly doesn't really matter because I am not level 30 yet. I have to get some XP. And so I'm sure you're wondering how I'm going to do that. Well, we found a zombie spawner last episode, which I'm going to convert into a very basic XP farm. Since I don't have a nether portal, I'm not going to do the dropping chamber with, you know, the soul sand and all that. But I just want an easy XP farm to use just to get some XP for the meantime. I honestly don't think I'll need a whole lot of materials for this. Just some water and some blocks really. That's kind of everything. So go get to work. Now I don't remember entirely where it was. I know it was connected to a cave that was connected to the staircase, but I did write the coordinates down, so worst case scenario we can just come here and we can just mine directly to it. All right, and it's only that way about 40 blocks, so let's get mining. Should be right here. Perfect. Okay, that wasn't the most direct route to it, but we'll take it. And I think I already checked these last episode and I didn't take that leather. Wow, what was I thinking? Anyways, with most spawner XP farms, you have to dig a few blocks around it, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And for those that don't know, to make a zombie or skeleton XP farm, you need 4 blocks of space on each side. So this wall will have to go back 1, but just to show you, these 4 blocks will be empty, and then you have to dig 3 blocks below it just to create enough space for them to spawn. Alright, now that the blocks have been dug out, this is the part where you can honestly do it multiple different ways. Some people will just put water in each 4 corners and put a drop shoe in the middle. I tend to do it where I just fill the back wall all with water. And I dig out another trench here just for the zombies to fall into. And then one final trench down here. And I don't really know how long to make this tunnel, to be honest, but I think as long as you're within 16 blocks of the spawner, it should work fine. So I think we'll just put it here, and then we'll dig out a bit of a room here just so we have some space to work with. Just before closing up the spawner, we have to do one more thing. Actually, 2 more things. First is put a sign there, and then one more sign here. So that should stop all of the water that flows in. And this last step is very important. Make sure to put a slab here. If you don't, any baby zombies that spawn will get out, and well, we know how dangerous those things are, so you definitely got to be careful. Oh, they're getting stuck up there. Okay, it needs to be a little, okay. Well, good thing I'm not making a XP farm tutorial. And yes, I know this setup is quite ugly. I don't even have a hopper down there, you know, to collect the drops. But I just need XP and I need it quick. So I think this should do for now. Anyways, I'll take a few minutes just farming up these zombies. And hopefully we can get to level 30 pretty quickly. Once I get enchanting, I'd definitely be okay with a smite sword. Obviously, I'd prefer sharpness, but smite would make this grinder a lot better because, as you can see, it's a little slow, but it's definitely getting the job done. Okay, so we're back at the enchanting table, and now it's finally time to enchant our pickaxe. I've got our trusty little grindstone here just in case I don't get a good enchant, which I guess we already know it's not a good one. I do want to re-roll this though, just because I want Fortune 3 for sure. I don't want to take any chances with the little XP that I do have. So hopefully this time we'll get it. Perfect. Second attempt is actually crazy. I am so shocked by that. Hopefully we got, you know, efficiency on breaking 3 as well. That would be perfect. No on breaking 3, but efficiency 4 is pretty good on that. I'm definitely happy with that. I won't complain. That's definitely a pretty good pickaxe to get for our second attempt. Now that we have our enchanted diamond pickaxe, I think it's time we go back to the mines. I did see a cave pretty close to the zombie spawner that hopefully has a good amount of loot and resources in there, because if we want to upgrade our gear, we definitely need more diamonds than we currently have. And any extra coal or iron we find definitely won't hurt, because I am also running low on those as well. But I think there's perfect. Yeah, I think there should be a good cave down here. Oh, we're pretty high up. That's a little scary, but I do see some diamonds down there, which is perfect. But I'll just grab this iron and then I'll probably head down there after. Oh, and that's nice. From 5 iron ore, we got 11 raw iron, which definitely makes my life easy when I'm trying to craft a bunch of lanterns. This Fortune 3 pickaxe was definitely a good investment. Oh, that's scary. Okay, that definitely, if I fell down there, I think that could end the world for sure. What I think I'm gonna do is just dig around it, and hopefully we can get to the other side and get down there and start mining some of those ores. Oh, this definitely is sketchy though. All right, we finally made it down here. I think before I mine any of these ores, I'm just gonna go around and torch up some of this cave. Wow, okay, that is just amazing. I'm gonna go around and just put a few torches down just to make sure nothing spawns while we're mining some of these ores. Oh. Oh, that's doing a lot of damage actually. Oh. Oh no. Okay. Just hiding here. Man, that skeleton was just pinging me from so far. Not going as smoothly as I would have hoped, but we'll keep going and making progress here. And man, what are with the baby zombies? Okay, I want to take out these creepers right away. I don't want them coming for me when my back is turned. Ooh. Okay. Woo! That was probably one of the sketchiest moments I've had in this world. Cleared out most of this cave, so let's get mining some of these ores here. Wow, look at that. 3 diamonds from that one ore. That's nice. Oh, 4 from that one? Wow, that's just crazy. Alright, so I've cleared out a lot of that cave. Obviously, there's a lot of ores left still, you know, on the roofs and kind of hard to reach places, which I'll just leave for now. But we have 28 diamonds, plus the, you know, 10 or 11 I think we have back at the base. That should be plenty to get us started with our full set of diamond gear. I was hoping to see a bit more coal down there. I'm not actually sure if coal spawns that far down. I don't think it does, because coal is the one thing we are pretty low on, to be honest. So actually, before we go back to make the diamond gear, I'm just going to do a bit of strip mining at this iron and coal level, just to see if we can find any coal here. Alright, so I'm finally back from the mines, and we got a pretty good haul here. Definitely a good amount of iron and coal, not to mention the 28 diamonds that we did collect. However, we have a bit of a problem, something we can't really fix right now, but our pickaxe did take a bit of a beating. Not having Unbreaking 3 on that is really going to pose a bit of a problem. Anyways, we can now officially go make our diamond gear, and once we put that on, we should have a lot more protection now, and look at that, that is nice. I'm also going to come up to the artifact room and add the iron armor set as a little artifact for our world. So this armor is now officially retired and will be immortalized in the artifact room. And there we go, we have the second artifact added to this room. I'm also going to make a diamond axe, just to check and see if we have any good enchantments on it. So let's see. Oh, efficiency 4, that's not bad. Honestly, I'll probably take that unless there's something really good on this diamond armor. Fire protection, not good enough. Protection 3 could be better. Fire protection and Unbreaking 3. Okay, I think I'll go and enchant this diamond axe. Hopefully we get Unbreaking 3 on it as well. Oh, okay. Fortune 3 on an axe is I guess it's okay. I was hoping for Unbreaking, but I guess we'll have to take that for now. Actually, I think with our last diamond, I'm going to make a diamond shovel and see if we can get any good enchantments on that. Well, nothing really too good on that shovel, so we'll keep it unenchanted for now. But like I said, we needed more diamond gear just to be able to get enough resources to make the build. And there's 3 main resources we're looking for right now. The first is calcite, and if you remember from last episode, we can find that in a geode or the mountain. The second is dark oak, which I thought I had some dark oak saplings, but it turns out I didn't collect any. So we'll have to go exploring and find some dark oak as well. And lastly, I'll need some tuff, which should be the easiest one of all 3 since we can just find that at deep slate level underground. So let's get to exploring. Oh, please. Oh my god, it does. It has calcite. Holy excuse my language, but that was the most unfortunate adventure ever. I've gone thousands of blocks. I saw multiple stony peaks biomes, which is the biomes that spawned the calcite, and none of them had calcite. I thought it was a sure thing that they'd have a calcite vein, but apparently not all the stony peaks have calcite. So I've been looking for literally hours just to find this, and oh my gosh, I'm so relieved that we finally found one. Wow, and this instamine is so satisfying. Anyways, I'm going to get to mining this stuff. I'll stop either when my inventory's full or my pickaxe breaks, whichever one happens first. So yeah, once that's done, I'll head back to the base and we'll gather up the rest of the materials. Alright, so I've gathered all the resources I think I'll need for this build, but there's one thing I want to do just before we get started, and that is enchant my diamond shovel. Since we'll have to do a bit of terraforming outside, I want to enchant and hopefully we can get efficiency 4. It does say Unbreaking 3, but I'm hoping it'll also give us some other enchants. Oh, perfect. Efficiency 4, that's exactly what I wanted. Now that we have our nice enchanted shovel here, I can start doing a bit of terraforming where I think the builds are going to go, starting with this little hill here. Just like the calcite, that instamine is so satisfying. I'm also just going to go in and fill in a few little holes with dirt, just to make the overall ground here a little flatter and easier to work with. For this build, I used the same stripped spruce log pillars, but this time I wanted to use a mix of tough and tough bricks. For the roof, I went for a simple design with a dark oak outline and filled in the rest of the roof with spruce. At the front, I wanted to incorporate some brick and granite, so I made a sort of patio using those 2 blocks. After that, it was just a matter of adding some extra details like these arches, these lanterns, and some leaves to liven up the exterior a little bit. And as for the interior, I just went with a stone floor to give it a sort of grungy look, and that was the build done. Alright, so we've got the full build done here. And I even did the interior a little bit, just added a bit of storage, and then of course the 2 cow farms here. So if you're not sure how these work, they essentially just use anti-decramming, which just means that if there are more than 24 cows in this 1 block space, they will crush each other and die. To use this farm, all you gotta do is flick this button and it'll dispense the water, and then you just come up here and breed the cows. I only have 2 cows in each of them right now, so obviously it's not gonna work, but eventually once there's enough cows, the grown-ups will just be crushed and then all their loot will just fall into this barrel right here. But now that these 2 buildings are done, we can get started on the actual enchanting building, which is the main project for this episode. For the enchanting building, I used a similar palette as the cow farms, starting with the tough foundation and the spruce pillars, but I also added the calcite and diorite walls from the starter house. But since this was an enchanting building, I wanted it to have a more whimsical feel, so I added this large stone tower to the side. It was then onto the roof, where I once again made a mistake on the dimensions of the building. So after taking my frustrations out on on this wandering trader, I tore down the wall and rebuilt it. I then went to finish the roof and added this cone-shaped roof to the tower, which took me forever to make manually. Lastly, I added these windows and this wooden support ring around the tower, which I think looks great and helps to break up the stone. Once that was done, the exterior of the enchanting building was complete. Now that the exterior is done, we can start working on the interior because I have yet to do that. Before we get started, I just need to collect a few more blocks. Those blocks were mainly just oak wood from the nearby forest and some cobwebs from this mineshaft that I found while digging for tuff. Getting started on the interior, I put in a nice textured oak floor and added the spruce staircase that led to this super cozy loft area. After that was done, it was time to add in the bookshelves and all the other small details to make this place look like a proper library. Of course, we can't forget about the tower's interior. So on the first floor, I just added some leaves and cobwebs to make it look a bit more interesting. The second floor was a simple storage area, and the top floor was where I put the enchanting table. Wow, I have to say I really liked how this enchanting building turned out. I love this little library building here, and with the super tall ceiling, it really adds to the cozy feel in here. And it almost feels like there's some secrets hidden here with all these little stashed artifacts up there. I really like how it turned out. And also in the tower, it looks super cool in here. It's amazing what just some leaves and cobwebs really does to enhance the feeling of the build. And especially this floor, I really like this little secret floor here. It has no use, but it looks super cool and it kind of adds some lore to the build. And of course we have the enchanting table up top. I think it turned out super nice. I really love this stone roof here. I think it just adds a nice feeling to this room. And of course you have this amazing view of the outside world. Anyways, now that that's done, it's time to finish up a few remaining things for this episode. So now that we've finally finished our enchanting builds and all the builds for the episode, there's one last thing I need to do, and that's create a pathway here, because right now they look very disconnected from the starter house and I don't like that. For the pathway, I started with a main strip using the path blocks and textured the edges of that with some packed mud, mud bricks, and coarse dirt. Then, to add a bit more detail to the path and buildings, I went around adding some barrels, some leaves, and bone mealed some of the grass. This helped to make the area seem more lived in and not super static. Overall, this area is really starting to come together. Of course, it might seem out of place now, but if you imagine a whole city surrounding this, it's definitely an exciting feeling. Wow, I'm just loving how this place is coming together. It's looking super cool, and yeah, there's only a few builds in here, but once there's a bunch more builds surrounding this area and we start to build up a nice city, I think it'll look super cool just running through these little streets and seeing all the life that this place has to offer. There's one last thing I want to talk about though, and that's the naming of these buildings. One thing I think I want to do for this world is to name most of the buildings, at least the major ones. So if you have any name suggestions for the enchanting building, please let me know in the comments below. Alright, I think that's all we have time for today, and if you made it to this point of the video, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.